Welcome everyone, this is Arnaud Delapierre. Today we are going to talk about Ethereum, the second largest crypto after Bitcoin. You have probably already heard about those famous smart contracts or the transition to proof of stake, but do you really know the whole story, the behind the scenes, and the perspectives offered by this network? In this video, I suggest we review its workings, its advantages, and its challenges, all without wanting to drown all that in a not too technical discussion. Prepare your attention because we are going to clarify a lot of things to help you understand why Ethereum generates so much interest. The basic idea germinated in the mind of the young Vitalik Buterin, who wanted to propose a more flexible blockchain than Bitcoin. His obsession to allow developers to create decentralized applications, also known as dApps, capable of taking life thanks to smart contracts. Starting in 2013, Ethereum begins to take shape and quickly garners enormous attention. The ICO of 2014 attracts substantial funding, and by 2015, the first version is launched. This initiative transforms the vision of the crypto sector by providing fertile ground for a whole ecosystem of innovative and varied projects. Since then, Ethereum has continued to gain recognition, attracting both enthusiasts and institutional investors. Unlike Bitcoin, which focuses on value exchange, Ethereum goes further by highlighting a programmable mechanism through the Solidity language. This approach makes it possible to automate transactions and processes without an intermediary. These famous dApps thus run on a public network where every action is verifiable and immutable. The true strength of Ethereum lies in this concept of smart contracts, which has paved the way for multiple use cases. Whether it's in decentralized finance, in NFTs, or other sectors, the protocol attracts ambitious projects seeking to build a solid foundation. Before continuing, I would like to briefly tell you about an application that can revolutionize the way you track trading signals, whether for the stock market or, particularly here, cryptocurrencies. It is called Notrade, and it is available on iOS and Android completely free. This app sends you real-time alerts, allows you to monitor different assets on different timescales, and offers analyses that are really easy to read. Everything is, once again, I repeat, free. In any remarkable distinction, you have a tool that will support you and maybe become your best ally. Personally, I've integrated it into my trading strategy, and I'm really content. Let's get back to our main topic. The major transition of Ethereum from a proof-of-work system to a proof-of-stake system, often called the merge, was a true turning point in the history of this blockchain. This evolution aims to reduce energy consumption while ensuring enhanced security. In the old model, block validation was done by miners, whereas now it relies on validators selected based on the amount of Ethereum staked. This approach encourages a greener and more inclusive network where users can participate in the consensus mechanism without expensive mining hardware or astronomical electricity bills. This shift confirms Ethereum's desire to become a more modern platform and accessible. Another notable point is the burn mechanism introduced last year by EIP 1559. This process removes part of the transaction fees from circulation, which can reduce the total amount of Ethereum available. When there is heavy activity on the network, periods are sometimes observed where the net issuance becomes negative, bringing Ethereum closer to a deflationary model. This dynamic is not automatic and heavily depends on the effective use of the blockchain, but it contributes to fueling discussions on the long-term evolution of supply and demand, an aspect that interests many investors. Ethereum has played a major role in the rise of decentralized finance, often called DeFi. Thanks to smart contracts, different protocols have emerged to lend, borrow, or exchange assets without going through a central entity. Among them are Aave, Compound, and Uniswap. All these platforms operate autonomously, relying on code rather than authority. Users can provide liquidity or borrow funds while benefiting from a transparent and open system. This dynamic has disrupted traditional finance and sparked the interest of a wide audience seeking free and innovative alternatives. Machine NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, represent another key use of Ethereum. Behind these digital assets, there is the possibility of certifying ownership of works, of artworks, collectibles, or digital content. The excitement around NFT has allowed many artists and creators to monetize their work while providing buyers with proof of rarity on the blockchain. These tokens can be traded on platforms like OpenSea. Their value often depends on the demand of the market. Although some consider this phenomenon speculative, it has undeniably highlighted new ways of owning content. Despite its popularity, Ethereum has to deal with transaction fees that are sometimes high fees and limited speeds. To address these challenges, different solutions, known as Layer 2, came into being, like Polygon, Arbitrum, or Optimism. They offload part of the operations away from the main blockchain, while still benefiting from the security of the main chain. The result is faster and less costly transactions, which encourages the adoption of Ethereum for more everyday uses. These additional layers illustrate the determination of Ethereum to constantly improve the user experience by making the network more accessible and flexible for all. And this movement is just, in my opinion, beginning. The success of Ethereum also relies on its very active and united developer community. Hackathons, conferences, and online forums allow everyone to propose improvements and create new projects. This open approach encourages the arrival of talents from all corners of the globe, strengthening diversity and creativity. The Ethereum Foundation supports the most promising initiatives, sometimes providing financial or logistical assistance. Beyond technical achievements, it's also a mindset that emerges, one of a participatory collaboration where everyone can contribute to the rise of Ethereum. This dynamic makes all the difference in continuing to innovate. Far from being the only player in the field, Ethereum faces alternatives like Binance Smart Chain or Solana, sometimes reputed to be faster or less costly. However, the authority of Ethereum and the strength of its ecosystem give it a notable advantage. Its value is not only linked to technical performance, but also to the maturity of its tools and the trust built over the years. New entrants try to promote better scalability, while Ethereum continues to improve its own structure. It is this dynamic, healthy competition which pushes each project to upgrade for the greatest benefit of users. Regarding future prospects, Ethereum aims for significant expansion with sharding and other updates designed to develop its capacity. The idea is to divide the network into segments to distribute the processing load, thus improving the speed of operations. This roadmap, formerly called Ethereum 2.0, is a gradual process that includes several stages. Although it requires time and significant coordination, the advances already made indicate a clear and well-defined direction. The developers hope to make Ethereum more agile and less costly while maintaining the initial robustness that made it famous. Like any cryptocurrency, Ethereum is not free from uncertainties. Government regulations are evolving quite rapidly, and the mass adoption of cryptocurrencies can become a political or even geopolitical issue. The scalability issues, despite advancements, remain central in debates between purists and those advocating for a more radical evolution. The volatility affecting the value of Ethereum in wallets can also be mentioned. Despite everything, the community's willingness and Ethereum's growing influence in various technological fields suggest that this project remains and still has a bright future. It remains to be seen how it will navigate between freedoms and regulatory frameworks. For those interested in Ethereum from a perspective investment or technical, it is recommended to do thorough research and assess one's own risk tolerance. Cryptos can experience sudden fluctuations, and Ethereum is frankly no exception. Before starting, a minimum level of understanding is, in my opinion, desirable to avoid pitfalls and to build an adapted strategy. Familiarize yourself with the trends of DeFi, NFTs, and Layer 2, as these sectors drive the growth of Ethereum. Whether it's a long-term holding or active participation in protocols, each user must weigh their choices with clarity. Maybe we will end on that note. That's it for this overview of Ethereum, the second cryptocurrency in terms of market capitalization at the time I'm recording this video. We have covered its history, strengths, evolutions, and expected advancements. I hope this information helps you better understand Ethereum's added value and the reasons why so many projects are built on this platform. You should know that Ethereum is an extremely vast project. There could be hours of videos. Here it was about condensing the most important parts. If you enjoyed this video and wish to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and leave a little like. Also, let me know in the comments if you hold Ethereum or if you plan to buy some. We'll meet again very soon for other exciting topics.